it's Isaac from Isaac TV, and I hope you guys are doing well. Here in Britain, there's been a storm recently, and I want to see how it affected the forest. As we film here, and it's really close to my house as well. Well, let's start. Today's a very special episode because I'm going to be comparing the two very good brands which make excellent dinosaur collectibles called Papo and Schleich. So I'm going to start with the Schleich first, and I'm going to go all the way to that side of the bench and start with the Kentrosaurus. I've got the Schleich Kentrosaurus in my hands, and as you can see, it's got like a brownish, dark, light brown and like this reddish brown colouring on its body. It's got these two wonderful spikes. There's one on this side and there's one on the other side. And let me show you the other side. You can see it's the same on this side as well. Schleich did a really good job because it's nice and heavy, so it's good quality. As you have a look on the plate on its back, you can see they're nicely coloured with good quality paint, and it's really made with care. And on the bottom of its tail, it's got a lot of spikes. Another thing which is really interesting about this dinosaur, well, this figure itself, is the scales are really like realistic, and you can feel every single one of them. So if you turn to the face now, it's got a relatively small head for its body, but that's fine because that's what stegosaurids look like. On the top of its head, it's got this light brown red on it going down its head, if you want to have a look at that. So yeah, I think it's time I move on to the next dinosaur now. As you can see, I've got the Schleich Spinosaurus, and it's really realistic. It's on all fours, and the sail's realistic. The colouring on the sail is like dark orange with some more like black dark grey colour with more dark orange, and there's dark orange on the top as well with more black going around the sail. And the head, it's got this nice red, which is quite a nice pattern, with more of that black going down its neck and its face. The teeth are really nicely individually painted with this nice white colour with a red tongue. The tail has some nice bumps on it, and more realistic bumps, and the dinosaur feels more smooth. But that's probably realistic because the Spinosaurus lived in water, must have had more smooth skin. So I'll put this one down now. Ooh, and I'll go to get the Triceratops. This one is probably my favourite Schleich because how nice the detail is. You can see how the scales are very pronounced, they're very realistic, all handcrafted scales, and it's got like nice light brownish grey colour going on its body with some really nice red colouring which goes down its torso and its tail. Its head, 3 nicely painted horns with good detail on them, and a massive thrill with more of that nice red colour on it. So I really like this figure, and I'll put this one down now, and I'm going to go for the T-Rex. It's the red T-Rex. I got this one in the calendar, the Schleich calendar. It's red all across his body except his underbelly, which is I would say like a beigey grey. Everything is grey, isn't it? So if you look on the top, you can see there's a very small line of what I can describe as dark blue, which goes down its body all the way to the tail, which adds extra detail. And the scales on these dinosaurs are pronounced as well, just like the Triceratops, which makes them more realistic. This one, unlike all the other ones we have, is not actually a dinosaur. No, it's not related to a dinosaur. This is called a Dimetrodon, and the Schleich decided to make this colour of this dinosaur green and blue. You can see there's green on its body with some splashes of nice blue going down its scales, and its sail is nice and tall with some green feeding into that blue, which I think is a really good decision. The scales, obviously, which are blue on the body, are really nice and add extra detail to it. And the feet and the toes are actually painted dark blue. And the teeth are really nicely painted white, just like the Spinosaurus with a red tongue. So I'm going to put this one down now. So this is a Utahraptor, which is related to the Velociraptor, and this dinosaur is not my personal favourite, but I still really like this figure. As you can see, there's brown, dark brown going down its body, down to its arms, with some red feathering going down its head, to its tail, and under the arms. The head has a nice blue pattern going over its eyes, coloured orange. If you have a look in the mouth, you can see the teeth are nice, whitely painted. Good thing about Schleich is they paint the teeth really nicely with a pinkish red tongue. So I'll set this one down now, and we're going to get the Dilophosaurus. This is a Dilophosaurus. It's one of my favourites. It's a blue colouring with some I could describe it as a greenish grey, like on the underbelly and below the tail and neck and the bottom jaw. And it's got silver painted claws, which look very intimidating, and on its back, it's got these red spikes, like these red humps or sails. Not really sails, but just bumps, which add extra detail to the figure. And the head is my favourite because it's got tons of more of that red bumps, and it's got these two, I describe them like horn type things. If you know the word, comment down below on the Dilophosaurus, and it's painted nice red, just like the bumps on its back and its face. And in the teeth, it's obviously got white painted teeth and a pinkish orange tongue. This one down now. So here for the Parasaurolophus, the Schleich Parasaurolophus, it's got this orange, dark orange colour going down its body and up to its head. The crest of the Parasaurolophus is yellow. The head is really detailed. You can see all those lines, and you can even see it inside the ear. There's a bit of the ear there. Move on to the back now. It's got some bumps there, which is more realistic. The Parasaurolophus did quite have a bumpy back. And you can see the eye's very detailed, with this like purplish, like just splash detail surrounding the eye, and the eye is painted a very nice yellow, just like the crest. So if we move over to the bottom of the Parasaurolophus, you can see the feet is painted. Their like toes are painted like black, which is realistic as well. There we go. Now I've got another Triceratops. This one's much smaller than the other one. Okay, the colour of this Triceratops is yellow with some nice brown going down its body. Its toenails are painted black, but I had this figure for a while, so the paint's starting to go away. The face is a nice brown as well, the frill, and the bottom jaw is a yellow colour as well. The horns, just like the other Triceratops, are painted really nicely with some good detail, like crack detail and everything. Top of the dinosaur, on the brown, it's got some nice scaling on it. So I'm going to move on to the next dinosaur now, which I've got the Draco Rex, which is related to Pachycephalosaurus. You can see it's got this purplish, not violet, but this purplish colour going down its body, with some white and yellow stripes along its torso, and some yellow on its belly area. It's got a nice head with a lot of horns, probably to protect itself, which are also detailed really nicely. It's got some more detailing horns on the bottom of its face under its eye. The eye colour is really nice. It's a nice red with a black pupil, with some nice detailing on the face. If we move on to the beak, obviously that's detailed just like the horns, and it's got a red tongue. So it's the last Schleich one I've got. It's called the Postosuchus. A Postosuchus is an ancient crocodile, and crocodiles, dinosaurs and birds are all related under the clade called archosaurs. See, this Postosuchus is a light grey colour with some, like, I don't know what this colour's called, like this pastel, very dark green going down its body, and on spikes. It's very spiky. It's got a powerful face. It's got a big face for its head, which is also grey with some more of that green on the top. It's got a nice detailed eye, which is yellow with a black pupil. The teeth are also painted nicely. They are white, and in the mouth it's got a pink tongue. And also it's got a lot of scoots in there, a bit like a crocodile, a lot of like scoot spikes to protect itself against prey and other predators. Good job, Schleich. Schleich has manufactured really nicely quality detailed dinosaurs, but since this is a comparison, I'm going to move on to Papo. Now I'm going to move over to Papo. I've got my absolute favourite figure out of Papo and Schleich called the Velociraptor. It's got really nice feathering, it's really realistic. It's got obviously white, brown, grey all along its body, and the tail is grey with some white spots, and under the arms there's like two different types of feathers, one white feather, one like black feather. Got a brownish peach, I could say a beige colour on its body, and obviously it goes down to its arms and its legs, and the feet and the hands are this orange colour, which reminds me a bit of like birds, like bird feet and things. The head, it's got a really nice long snout with a pink tongue, really nicely painted teeth, and gums which are pink as well. The eyes are painted, I could describe them as an orangey red with a black pupil and some gloss to make it look more realistic. So now I'll move over to the Parasaurolophus. This dinosaur is really nicely detailed, with really good scales. It's got a nice grey colour with some brown going down to its legs. It's got some, if you have a look at that, and it's got a bit like a tiger pattern with some like black, greyish, very light, it's quite hard to see, going down its body and its leg. So if I turn it over to the front, you can see it's got red there, and it goes up the top of its neck and to its the crest as well. It's got more of that tiger black patterning on it as well, if you have a look at that. The eyes are a nice yellow colour with a black pupil, which has gloss in it to make it look more realistic. The beak is an orangey brown colour. And yeah, I'll move on to the next dinosaur. Now, I've got the biggest Papo figure, the Brachiosaurus. It's got this light bluish colour going up all across its body to its neck, to its tail and its legs. It's got some nice scaling detail and line detail going around its neck and its body and its tail. So let's move over to the head, have a good look at it. It's got a nice crest over its head and yellowish orange colour for its eye with a black pupil. Its mouth is painted nicely with a pink tongue and white teeth. And as you can see, on the bottom of the neck, going down to its belly and the back side of its legs, it's got this nice beige colour, like blend in with the blue to make it look more realistic. Put this one down, this one's quite heavy. Over to the Stegosaurus. Oh wait, no, I'll get this side. There. The Stegosaurus has a green colour body, going from its legs all the way to the tip of its tail, and it's got some white, it's got like this white colour for its underbelly. Look at that. The scutes or the plates on its back and painted like a light brownish, orangey yellow for every plate on its back, going down to the last plate. If you have a look at the tail, the horns are painted really nicely. It's got some yellowy white colouring with some really good detailing for lines and things. We'll move to the head now. Like the Kentrosaurus, Stegosaurids have quite small heads for their body, and instead their brain is the size of a peanut. But yeah, if you have a look at the head, it's green with more of that white underbelly for the bottom jaw. It's got an orangey yellow eye with a black pupil. Its beak is this brownish with some white on it, and the tongue is painted pink, like all the other dinosaurs. So I'll put this one down now. So here I've got the Acrocanthosaurus, which is my second favourite figure, behind the raptor. It's got this grey colour for the body, like the Parasaurolophus. It's got like tiger stripes, like of brow of like I could say black, dark grey, and it's all the way down its body, all the way down to its legs, and there's obviously dots of it as well on the belly area, the rib area. The top of its body has this a bit of like a sailing with lovely detailed spikes on the sail. So if you have a look at the head, which is really detailed, got so many nice bumps and cracks and scales. So if you look in like this nasal area, that's the nose, but it's got like this pink, bit like detailed pink there, and there's a bit of pink here in this area. The eyes with gloss are painted yellow with a black pupil. Inside the mouth is pink, like the gums are pink, the tongue is really detailed and it's pink. The teeth are really nicely individually painted white. Papa did a really good job in this figure. So put this down now. So now I've got the Allosaurus, which is my third favourite, surprisingly. The body is light lime green, which goes down to the tail, with dark grey at the top. And it's got really good scoots and spikes and a lot of humps going around across his body. The head has even more detail, and it's got this like very dark orangey light brown colour over here, which is a bit random, but it adds more detail to the figure. The crests are really nicely detailed with that more of that light brownish orange colour going across his body. His head, I mean, his crests. If you have a look inside the mouth, it's got these dark pink gums with this surprisingly like purplish tongue, or with some more dark pink under its tongue. The teeth are individually detailed and painted white. So I'm going to put this figure down now and go off to the next figure. So I've got the Spinosaurus now, the Papo Dinosaurs. This one reminds you of the Jurassic Park Spinosaurus, except it's a different colour. The colour of its whole body is grey, with some really good bumpy details across its neck and its under its tail, going down to the tail. The arms, the claws on the arms are painted nice black with some extra gloss to make them look more realistic. And if you move over to the feet, the toes are painted the same thing. So let's go over to the head now, and the head has some nice crests, some realistic crests, with lime green eye with a black pupil. So the great thing about this figure is, if you look at the tongue, it's got some really good lines and bumps. It looks like a real tongue. It's got the best tongue out of all these figures here. And it's painted dark pink with pink gums. The teeth are individually painted like most of the big carnivores with white. Then I'll put the Spinosaurus down. So here I've got the Papo running T-Rex. It's got a green colour all across his body with some dark blue stripes going down his back and to its neck. The jaw is like a lime green, and the teeth are really cool. They remind me of the T-Rex in King Kong, because they're very like fearsome teeth. And the inside the mouth is a dark pink with obviously pink gums and a pink roof of the mouth. The eyes, if we move on to the eyes is a light yellow with a black pupil. If you look at the top of the head, it's got some really good bumps and scales and a lot of different things. What I really enjoy about this figure is you can see the bones, you can see the ribs, and you can see all the like skin folds, and it's really realistic. The claws, if you move into the hands, the claws are painted black, and so are the toenails. Put the T-Rex down. Now I've got the last figure of the day, the Papo Baryonyx. So the base colour of this figure, like the body and the claws and the legs, is like light grey with some like light brown patches on its body, here, there. And if we look on the neck and all the spikes on the neck, it's orange, and so is the tip of the tail, which is a good design choice. Obviously the back of the dinosaur has really realistic spikes going down all the way to its tail and its head, all the way to the bottom of the jaw, which is really realistic. If you have a look at the claws, there's some more brown on its arm, and the claws are this golden colour, which is strange, and so are the toes. But it's a design choice, and it looks more fearsome and dramatic. The eye colour is, I could describe as a yellow with a black pupil, and there's some like light blue there. It's strange in this area, you see it? The rest of the snout is light grey, and inside the mouth, if you have a look, the tongue reminds you of like a lizard tongue. It's really detailed, just like a Spinosaurus. The gums are a different colour, and they're like a light orange pink colour, and the tongue is like this dark pink colour. The teeth are individually painted. They're white, and they've got a lot of detail on them. So that's the baryonyx, if you have a look at it now, because it's a really good detailed figure. So that's our review done. It's time to go on to the comparison. In all fairness, the Schleich figures the detail on the Schleich figures are spot on. They're really good. They've got lovely scales. They're quite nice and good quality, and they're heavy. But I'm going to give a slight edge to Papo because they're slightly more realistic. I'm not taking away any credit from Schleich, but the reason why Papo is victorious today is because the figures are 100% spot on. They look real, and I think this is how dinosaur figures should look like. As I mentioned earlier on, there was a storm, but luckily it's been a really pleasant day. It's not muddy, and so thanks Mother Nature. And it's nice and sunny as well. I really hope you enjoyed this special comparison video on Papo and Schleich, and if you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn the notifications on if you want to see my upcoming videos. Have a smashing day, and goodbye!